It all started at Thanksgiving of 2019. And I was invited over to a friend's house, and you know how it is, you all get together and talk. And my friend had mentioned that her daughter was actually a new employee at Palms Mortuary. So guess what? We started talking. She mentioned in my ear, time for you to take responsibility, Jackie. So on that, I don't know what happened, but I scheduled an appointment. And the appointment was for December the 27th. Fast forward, December the 27th. It's raining, it's cold, it's a miserable day. I'm just turning into the gates of Palm Mortuary, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing here? But I still proceed through the main doors, get greeted, and into the office. And in the office, I'm now sat down, and we're given everything to do with one's burial. From expensive to the least expensive. In ground, above ground, everything. I already knew that I wanted to be cremated. There was no problem there. But what I had to acknowledge too is here I am, alive, and I'm now having to take responsibility for my death. That didn't sit well with me at all, and it still doesn't. So I sat there and talked. I didn't have much of a problem picking my urn. That wasn't a problem at all. The problem was still about me being alive and getting ready for my death. They went through a whole bunch of things and mentioned this building with glass containers. They called it the glass house. Really? So we said, come on, let's go and look around. And we drove around, actually, visiting the cemetery. That was beautiful, actually. Then we found a building. This was their newest of two buildings. And we walked in. And I was shocked. It was empty. One niche occupied. Second niche occupied. A U in front of me, with a few occupations too. Can I visit? I said. Of course you can, go ahead. And I proceeded in, and I got this overwhelming feeling to me, and it was very emotional. And I approached this double niche, and I looked into it, and inside were these two urns, with their crucifixes wrapped around them, a cross, an angel, their wedding picture. A presentation of them young, and a presentation of them in the senior days. Pictures of adults and children and babies, and we miss you, Grandma, Grandpa, that was written there. And a heart with love. And a plaque telling me who it was. For me, that was amazing. And I was receiving it in such a different way that I'd never anticipated. So what I did was, I asked if I could visit others, and I did. I quickly looked around, took it all in, and we left. Did I take time to look at the wall of niches, which was my original idea? No. We went back to the office and finalized everything. My cremation, etc. I was a mess, an absolute mess. But that place resonated. From there, we finalized everything, and I returned home. I couldn't get over everything. From the 27th until my sign-in day for the last part of this journey was the 31st of December. Taking advantage of better prices, go figure. However, that whole day, the whole days between the 27th and 31 was a mess. No sleep, eating wrong, all comfort foods. I was an absolute mess. I walked in on the 31st. The 31st, sunny day, but cold. There's a different air about this. As I walked in, got greeted, went back to the same office. And this time I said, I want to see the older building, the older glass building. So she said, well, let me go see what there is available, and disappeared for about 15 to 20 minutes. Again, I'm not sure. She came back and she said, guess what, there are 2. I said, good, let's go see. So we did. We proceeded to the older building. I told her on the way there, I want to see the outside too, the wall. We walked in and the building presented itself a little differently. It was not as well lit, and it was cool. And it was full. And I looked around, and again this overwhelming presence came above me. It was just so much. Can I visit? Of course you can. So I walked around, Asians, Japanese, Catholics, Christians, Jews. It was amazing, amazing. And all of them sharing some of themselves, about themselves. These people once upon a time were alive and vibrant, and they're still sharing. She took me over to the corner, and we're looking up, and there's these 2 availables. A corner and the next door. So which one do you want, she said. Well, I've always wanted to live in a penthouse. However, I think I like the one with the view. To the front, to the side. Can I have that one? She said yes. When we go back, we'll sign in. I did more visiting around, by the way, but I still couldn't feel what was going on inside of me. As we left, I took a gander at the wall. Colorful, bright, welcoming, loving. You could tell. It was amazing, this building. And as we walked on to the cart and started on our journey back to the office, it was then I suddenly realized. I suddenly understood what people mean when they say celebration of life. You know what? I get it now. I finally get it.